Yeah. The next to do it in my city, they know it. High level conversations with politicians and lawyers.
Good day, good people. How you all? I hope all is well. This is Cast and Pearls. My name is Jory Miller. This is episode 4 of an 8-episode series entitled Against All Odds. Episode 4 is coincidentally entitled The Change, which is have been inspired by my good brother Treyvon, which we'll be interviewing today. That is the name of his EP that has just dropped just recently, and he definitely inspired me in a video that he posted on Facebook, I think last week, talking about one of the songs, and definitely inspired me enough, right, to actually reach out to him and see if he'd be interested in letting me interview him to get to know more about the EP that he had been working on. Me and Treyvon have been knowing each other for some time, so he's always done music. I'm not going to steal his thunder and let him talk about himself and the album as well. Without further ado, this is Mr. Treyvon. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, bro, we go back a little ways. Wait, what,
Definitely go back a little ways, man. Definitely.
yeah, but yeah, man, thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, I'm Trey, artist name Trey_Von, just Treyvon. Born and raised Virginia Beach, Virginia, 757. Been doing music. Yeah. Been doing music all my life, man. So, I'm excited finally coming out with the EP. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you were touched by a couple things. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Okay, man. Let's get back into it, bro. As far as just know how we're gonna do this, bro. So just basically gonna touch on background as well as the music and any other pertinent thing that you think is relevant. And then I got a couple questions for you. We're just on dialogue, man. As I mentioned, the series is called Against All Odds. And just so you are aware, I named my first series of my podcast Against All Odds because being in a situation, you know me, military guy, always been into entrepreneurship, trying, having a family, juggling hardships and things like that. And, when it's tough, doing a lot of things for the first time alone, right? Just climbing mountains that you never climbed before, but you feel as though if you don't climb them and pursue what's at the top, which is, you feel like, for me, I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose. So I gotta, for me, like climb that mountain, in addition to, life. And, sometimes it's almost as if like you're against the odds because a lot of people choose not to climb the mountain, right? A lot of people just choose just to check the box and just exist simply. And I'm not a fan of just simply existing. And I see that you're not either. You have some extracurriculars. You have your music has always been something that you've done. We both are graduates of Norfolk State. Both trying our best out here as adults, man. And I see you doing your thing. I see you trying to be purpose driven. So in being purpose driven, a lot of times against you have odds against you, and that's not a popular thing to be purpose driven. It's not a common thing to be purpose driven. So that comes with a lot, man. And that's what I want to talk about in this series. And again, it's a change. So that's episode 4. So anyway, man, so tell me anything, again, pertinent background wise that you think that needs to be spoken on that's relevant. And then we'll also get into the album.
Yeah, man. So like I said, I've been doing music all my life, man. Been writing all my life, honestly. Picked up keyboards when I was 17. I messed with it a little bit before that, but I really took it serious when I turned 17. And since then, man, just kind of been on this journey musically, just, building my skill, building my confidence. But for a long time, I held myself back. I'll say that. I've been sitting on a lot of stuff for a long time. So finally getting this EP out was definitely an accomplishment, just getting it out. And it's just exciting, man. I definitely got this boost of, I guess, just a push. Like as soon as 2023 started, I can't tell you exactly what it was, man, but I just got tired of not doing anything or not doing enough, or maybe even just not doing what I know I should be doing,
Yeah. I know all about that.
Yeah, man. It's like you do a little something here, you do a little something there, but it's deep within you, it's not enough, man. You're supposed to be doing so much more. And I just kind of got that kick in the butt that I needed, from God, and just talking to myself, and just enough is enough, like it's about time to start making an impact out here. No matter how big, no matter how small, it doesn't matter. Someone's out there waiting for you to do something, you know? So that's kind of where I've been. I'm super excited to just have this out, and I'm excited for, you know, future things too. That's about the gist of it for right now.
Okay, nah, indeed, man. And you have a kid. You have a kid now, man. You're a father. How has that inspired you? With how has that, you know, influence the album inspired you to be, like, to push on and to do something more?
And it honestly, man, it's huge. I don't know if you can hear my son crying right now.
Nah, nah, I can't actually.
Uh, but nah, man, huge, man, a huge just push just coming from my family. Not even like my wife like encouraging me. That's, you know, obvious. But just having my son just wanting to be a great example, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I felt like I wasn't, you know, a good example already. Like I feel like I lived a good life, and, you know, I haven't really done too many crazy things. But as far as like making a difference in people, like I want my son to be able to grow up and be like, okay, these people were touched by something my dad did. You know, that's just one thing that really pushed me, honestly, as well. And also just building opportunities, even financially in music, to build something that I could pass down, even starting that journey. So that's another way that, you know, building this new family is that's kind of pushed me, man.
No, I feel that, bro. I think for myself, I've always said that I don't want to disqualify myself from never want to disqualify myself from being able to assist my son and guide him. I think that that's relevant in life, right? And what we're talking about is life. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about going further. We're talking about, you know, just doing what we know we ought to do. And we were told, and we tell our children, if we haven't told them, we plan to tell them, hey, you can be whatever you want to be. I think it's important that the example is in the house. In my life, my son asked me, hey, Dad, did you always want to be in the military? No, that was never the intention. You know, I joined the military because I had to do what I needed to do to provide as a man and as a head of household. But that wasn't what I felt my purpose was, nor my passion. So, you know, even, you know, us now with this podcast, this is a way of me being able to tap into one of my purpose, right? And using my gifts and talents to do that. And then passions, you know, I love real estate, I love business and things like that. You know, so I'm doing that. I haven't given up. A lot of my peers, a lot of people, you know, what are they not doing these things on their off time, bro? But to get to the point, bro, bottom line, I think it's important that the example be in the house, right? And that your kids see that, okay, my dad did what he wanted to do, you know, with his life. And even though life is hard, you try and you put in that effort and you didn't simply give up. Because there will be a time where your kid he pursues what he wants to do, and then life comes and try to, knock him down. And life has a way of making you shrink your dreams, making you just become satisfied and content with the norm of what you're given. And that's what you want. That's cool. That's what your definition of success is for yourself. That's fine. But if it is something else, then I think that as adults and as leaders, because like you said, somebody's waiting on you. It's your responsibility and duty, make it happen, make something happen. So, and I love that you said that, and I'm definitely in the same boat with you on that piece, bro.
I mean, in that same vein, man, how can we push and encourage our children to follow their dreams or pursue something when we ourselves were scared to follow ours, Like
Right.
That's so I don't want to be that parent. And I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, okay, I missed out on this, I don't want my kid to miss out on it. But I mean, if you're in the midst, man, if you still have the opportunity, go for it. So
Go for it.
So
right, bro. And I think it's crazy, bro, because if you're asked why didn't you? Why didn't you go for it, Dad? Why didn't you do it, Mom? There's a lot of different things, right? Barriers in the way. But if one of those things happen to be fear or intangible, man, that gotta be come on, I get it, because we can lay dormant, because of our imagination. And that's all fear is a lot of times, our imagination, right? And it happen to be associated with something that's negative that hasn't happened yet. And if that can keep you bound, bro, if that can keep you bound in the midst of real demand being your kid needing this, needing to see this, you may have whatever, there's something in real life that you need to be able to problems you need to solve, and a person you need to be, and there's maybe something that you need to say in real life. But if you're not saying, doing, and being this thing out because of something that's some imaginative, I don't want to be that person telling my son, hey, bro, like, son, hey, I didn't do this because I was scared. You know, but fear is big. Fear is big. But you got, bro, you gotta come against that, bro. I had to come against that. I gotta come against it every day. Fear, along with procrastination, along against FOMO, along with judge, like being perceived and judged, and caring what people think and all that, bro. You gotta come against that because again, there's a greater demand and mission and opportunity to at hand that like needs you to be the person to action that. So, bro, I'm definitely 10 toes down with you as it concerns that. So real quick, bro, I want to transition to one of my first questions. Your EP is entitled The Change. Why is that?
It's kind of just how the EP kind of fell together, honestly, because truthfully, I wrote all these songs at different times. Like none of this was planned to kind of be all in the same project. But when I started putting the pieces together, I was started to see this journey that I was kind of creating. I found a little piece of me in every single one of the pieces, but I honestly didn't write it solely off of personal experience. It was mainly for someone to relate to. Obviously, I feel like anyone who listens to it can find themselves in some part of it. But it was definitely a journey from just the material I had and the material I wrote all throughout the past several years. And I kind of just built up this journey of a change that happened, starting off with the first song that just talks about self-reflection, and the second song coming into realizing that there's a problem and there needs to be a change. Third song, accepting, starting the process of the change. The fourth song is experiencing the change. The fifth song is coming out of the change. And then the last song is just celebrating the new person you become and thanking God for the journey itself. And we can dig into each one of them if you want.
Bro, I love that. I love that. You got the problem and needing change, the process that's going to create change. Right now, I love that, bro. 100%. Oh man. So let me ask you a question, man. Is there any changes that you are making or have made recently that you think would have you to be relatable to the audience, people that'll watch this and maybe inspired by that change that you made? Is there anything that you want to speak on?
Yeah, man. I mean, we hit on it a little bit already.
Yeah.
I mean, just the change of finally getting up and doing something, man. Just the whole self-reflection that I've had over the past year, like just thinking back on all the missed opportunities that I've had, not even like in music or anything, but just an opportunity to affect people in a good way. So many opportunities were missed, and I was just like, enough is enough, man. Like I'm tired of just sitting on my hands and not things that I'm meant to do. I honestly don't know which video you saw that.
It was the first one.
First one? Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, that was the huge revelation that I had. That thought just came to mind. Like if you don't reach your full potential, you're not the one who's gonna miss out the most, even spiritually. If you go through your life, you do what you're supposed to do as far as like living a righteous life, you love the Lord. When we leave, I'm pretty sure I'm going to heaven, like,
hey man. Hey,
like,
let's just put that out. Hey, look, let's just put that out there.
No, I'm saying though, because like even if you don't reach your potential, if you live a righteous life, you'll go to heaven. I'd argue that.
Right.
So we're not the ones who's missing out. Better yet, we don't really have a consequence if we don't reach our full potential. But what about the people we were supposed to impact, the people we were supposed to change by reaching our full potential? They're the ones who are going to miss out on something great.
Bro, I think that's so big, bro, because like if you don't pursue purpose, right? Okay, you may make it into the gates. That's fine. But guess what? I love this. There's my in my daily habits, right? Something that I write down, my affirmations, is that it reads that I am confident that I shall see the goodness of the Lord. Bro, I think that's so important because pursuing purpose is good for while you're on earth, also will allow you to get a ticket by faith into heaven. But if you don't pursue purpose, there's someone that missed the opportunity to get a ticket because there wasn't seed sown right into their life. You weren't used. I mean, of course, God ain't like, you ain't the last and final straw when it comes to, I think, people, God trying to reach people. You know, because just think about and reflect on everybody that has sowed seed into your life and has gotten you to where you are, right? Not only your mother, your father, but friends and so on, right? Not only on as it pertains to your faith and heaven, but when it comes to those other people, you know, you walking in purpose, you may cause delay, affect, and influence someone else's story to where, like, you know, it may not play out the way it should. Again, I think that the way it could have, because you know, you can sow the seed, you know, open your mouth, right? Again, I'm so big on this, is doing what you need to do, being who you need to be, and saying what needs to be said. That's it. Hey, like, their blood is no longer on your hands, and you just continue to do that, because if you love someone, I was talking to my friend this past weekend. The conversation was associated with keeping in contact with and reaching out to people who have kind of gone off course and isolated themselves, whether it be family, friends, but you love them, but, you know, so you reach out, but, you know, in vain, because you can't reach them. They're not talking to nobody or not seeming to, you know, hear anybody. But bro, like, my love for these people, they don't answer their phone call, that's cool. But I know that I reached out, right? I know that I reached out. I know that I did my part. And in the event that I was able to get into contact with the individual or individuals, then I know I'm just going to let my love be known. That has nothing to do with them. That's all about me. Just like the same with forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the person, is for you. You know, so I'm like, to me, like, if God put somebody on my heart, something on my heart, I'm gonna see about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's between, hey, God, you told me to do this. I think that's so big. I think goes back into one of the scriptures that people actually are very fearful of whenever it talks about, you know, God, you know, did we do all these works in your name? But then God goes back and says, oh, but I never knew you. And knowing God is more like, okay, yeah, you do this and this and this, but behind closed doors, you didn't listen to me. You had no relationship with me. You were not spiritually obedient to me. And that's what it's about. You know, I think, you know, the Holy Spirit gives tailor-made scripture for your life. And you're not going to read in the Bible, say, hey, go reach out to this person, go do that, go do this. The Holy Spirit, like you said, bro, you know when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you know what you're supposed to be doing. You have an idea of what you are supposed to be doing, even though it's not written, you know, in verbatim, black and white, you know, what your purpose is. You have an idea. You know exactly what it's not. Let me say that. If I know nothing, you know exactly what your purpose is not. You know exactly what does not honor God. Yeah. That's not the thing. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you,
so
man.
I think, you know, with that being said, like, if you make change, the first change to be made is the things that you should not be doing, things that does not produce good fruit. Yeah. That's number one. But let me ask you a question. Going from what to what, like, again, change is, you know, not doing something and beginning to do something else. For you to get to this place where you are right now, what did you have to maybe stop doing and begin doing, right? And what was that process like for you mentally? What was the internal conversations being had? What were some of the things that you physically had to not do anymore? The things that maybe had your time and things you did not give your time to anymore in order to go forth and produce this album?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, first off, I just had to stop talking myself out of things. I had to stop telling myself that, you know, I'm not good enough, or I don't know how to do this yet. I really had to, like, tell myself. And I said something like this in church in front of the congregation, but I was really talking to myself when I said it. I said, if you feel like you're not good enough, then get good enough. You know, like, like, you know, like we make so many. I made so many excuses to why I couldn't do something, and maybe I didn't know how to do it, but I can put in the work to learn, which is what I had to do with a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're not good enough, then get good enough, and then start doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's one thing, man. Building up the confidence to actually go ahead and start moving where you're supposed to be moving.
Bro, actually, so this is so big, bro. I think what's so important, that the motivator and driver behind getting good enough or taking action a lot of times is our reality. It's our reality. It's the vicious cycles that's being repeated. It's the family narrative. So, no, it's these things, bro. You know, these things that either things that need to be continued because they're good and worthy of being duplicated and implemented over time, are things that need to stop and cease with you. And let's call these things, like, for example, I don't believe in generational curses. I believe in generational mindsets. I believe in generational cultures, ways of doing things, you know? Had a mic drop moment right before I had the incoming call. But
yeah,
yeah, man. It's definitely important. And again, you're reminded of why you need to do what you need to do, right? Why you need to go and stop this and start this and make the change. When I imagine that, on your pursuit of and trying to get good enough, it can be discouraging when you don't see the results that you want to see.
Definitely.
But when you go back home or whenever you just chilling and not doing the thing that you need to get good enough at, again, you will see all the reasons why you need to perfect your craft. Whether it be your dreams, whether it be your family, whether it be your situation, your reality. It should be a reminder of why you need to do what you need to do, right? Whether it's a reality that you want to sustain or it's something that you want to change.
Mhm.
Your reality is a reminder if you look around.
You need the confidence boost, man. Look at something you did last year. I do it all
Yeah.
the time. Like I'll pull up something I did last year and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is trash compared to what I can do now. You don't notice all the time the improvement while you're in the middle of it, man. So like a lot of times people think they're not improving, but you are. So look back at your old stuff and get a little confidence boost. I mean, that was one thing, man, just getting good enough. And then something else that I had to stop doing. Well, obviously the excuses, had to just stop the excuses, get good enough. And then I had to stop caring about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And even the ones that weren't even said, it's kind of what you said at the beginning, your imagination. So scared of what someone else is going to say and you're letting it hold you back. That's another thing that I had to like really just cut and just say, I don't care what no one's got to say. They got some encouragement for me, dope. If they don't, that's fine. It don't change. It doesn't change the mission, It doesn't change what I have to do. And I'm not going to let it affect me in any sort of way. I'm still going to do these things that I know I'm supposed to do. Get good enough, stop the excuses, don't care what no one else think. Keep that focus, man. As soon as I decided I was going to release this EP, I've been saying it about half the year. I said, all right,
Yeah.
fall, I'm going to release the EP. I stayed focused and I made it happen. So that was...
Yeah, bro. Man, so that, I have a little story, bro. You said this, bro. We talk about prompted this and it helped made me remember something. There's a gentleman by the name of Joey Calacito. I used to work with him with a multi-level marketing company called WFG. He was one of my mentors. He passed away during COVID time. God rest his soul. I left behind a wife and 2 kids. Again, I admired this man. This man left a legacy, bro. Like just incredible. Like he is success.
Yeah.
He is success for sure, bro. Week after week, I used to see this man come out and do his thing, lead this team, and so on, right? But one day we were in the office and we were doing like calling for the next event, something like that. And he had my team, well, the team I was associated with. He told us, just come to his house. And we like, Joey house? What? We was out of there, right? So we went to his crib. He had ordered pizza or whatever. We chilling, huge home, and we was having a moment. He was just talking to us in his living room, huge living room, everybody, all the associates. And I asked a question. I was like, because this is something I dealt with. We're talking about now, the paralyzing fear, caring about what people think, right? These are things that I know I battled with then, pursuing purpose and now. But again, it's a constant battle. And like right before you, like right now, today, I got a W. Yeah. I got the W because I'm here in front of us. I'm here. Like I'm here doing this right now. You got a W. You know what I'm saying? With the dropping of your EP and the follow-up videos that you've done, summarizing each song. Like that's a W, bro. But back then I asked him, I said, what do you do when you know that you ought to do something? And we always talk about our why. If your why doesn't make you cry, your why isn't big enough. And like, what about if you had a why, and I had a son at this time, I had Jace. So I'm like, but like, what if your why ain't big enough? Like you still not doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
And that was me. My son wasn't a good enough reason for me to do what I need to do. And I knew that because not saying I love my son dearly. I would lay on a sword for my son, like right now. But I find that, it's when I say your reality will remind you of why you need to do what you know you need to do and pursue purpose, is that I found that, and what motivates me is that if I do nothing, my son will be fine. We're going to be fine. But if I do nothing, if I don't pursue purpose, what chains will I pass on to him? What jobs and what purpose will I pass on to him to do that I did not do, right? Or what narratives will not change? What things will remain the same because I remain the same?
Man.
So like, and that's just that, bro. And I think a lot of times when we look around us and we see a lot of work that is undone. You know, we look around us, we see work that's undone. There's, oh my God, you know, in the Bible it said it then, you know, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers or laborers are few.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
There's always opportunity. There's always crosses that need to be picked up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you need to pick up your cross, right? Your tailor-made purpose, right? And you need to just carry it out, bro. And like again, it's for you. And I'll be damned if I pass on these chains to my son, to my family members or whatever, right? Whether I do it slow or I do it fast, I'm not gonna just not do nothing. I hope that again, me sharing that story, you know, with you all, and as well as, you know, Trey with this EP, it'll encourage you all to just like, hey, just go forward. You know, feel fear and do it anyway, right? That's a great book out there actually. Yeah, bro, because it's necessary. Your reality is a reminder of why you need to do what you need to do, bro.
100%.
100%, bro. I like how you with the album, with the songs, you got like kind of the problem and the change, the process and the change, and after you've done what you need to do, how you deal with that. For you, what you think needs to be like, what's next?
Well, keeping on with the change is
Yeah.
living and not returning back to the way you were before. If it's gonna be a problem in the future, have it be a new problem. You know, not something we already done past. The I guess dragging of my feet is over. So
Yeah.
this is just the beginning. So I got so much more coming, man, and I'm excited to do it. And it's gonna be it's gonna be different each time. You know, like everything I put out is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna touch different people in different ways. You know, so this is just the beginning. Honestly, man, as soon as I finish this EP and like I set it to be released, I already started working on the next thing. So I'm not even gonna lie, promo is always like tough for me because it's like I've been doing this stuff for so long.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of done with it now. So I kind of,
Right.
but yeah, I'm sticking with the change for a little while. But nah, man, definitely, there's gonna be so much more coming towards the end of the year, into next year, and then the springtime, and we just gonna keep it rolling, man.
Bro, I encourage you. This is one thing that I do and have done, and I'm going to continue to do. I think when I called you and reached out to you earlier this week about this interview, this was an example of what I'm about to share with you. You know, it's not isolating yourself. It's so important when it comes to your purpose, right? For many reasons, but for me and what I've seen to work for me is that, you know, one of the cheat codes is like just like right now how like I asked you, hey, what are you going to do? Or what can people expect from you, right? That's some sort of accountability, you know, that we're creating because people know, hey, Treyvon is dropping something. I remember one of my homeboy and mentor, big brother, Timothy Wright, you know, he had dropped his first album, mixtape or whatever earlier this year. And I was telling him that I wanted to use his song as the trailer that I created. And he asked me, he said, when you gonna drop it? Right? And I was like, actually, I had been, you know, so I'm gonna drop it sometime soon. But him asking me that triggered me to like wanna go ahead and do it. I say, hey, I'm dropping such and such. I want to give him an answer. Again, this is one of my mentors. And this is someone that, you know, like, hey, I will show up for smelling good, looking good, or whatever, because like again, like we all have those people in our life that make us want to be better. So the cheat code that I'm getting at is community. Hey, like for example, if you know that you want to do another project, you say, hey, I want to do this project. I want to make sure I get it done. Maybe I don't know who's helped you create the project that you just dropped, whether it be somebody you've always wanted to collab with on like, you know, with instruments or produce, whatever. Like just getting people involved, saying, hey, I'll meet you at this place at this time to execute this and to do this. A lot of times we show up for other people more than we show up for ourselves.
Oh yeah.
And if you do this consistently and parallel to your goals and milestones, right, or tasks that you need to accomplish to reach your goal, align people with each task associated with each, you know, on the way to the goal. And before you know it, you reach the goal. Because again, we are habitual, and I don't know why, but a lot of us, the masses, let me say that. All right, the Kobe Bryants of the world, they got contracts made to themselves. They're gonna show up because they said that they're gonna show up. But until we become like Kobe, or like Mike, or like, you know, the greats that have paved the way, we know you gotta do what you gotta do. And then again, a cheat code for me is include people. right? Telling somebody, hey, I'm gonna interview you next Sunday at this time. Before you know it, I'm gonna have X amount of episodes drop, right? But if I'm saying, hey, if I'm just staying to myself and say, hey, no, I'm gonna just do it for me by myself, a lot of times, like, am I gonna whoop myself? Am I going, like, what's the punishment unto myself if I don't do it? So I think that's something that getting people involved is a good way to be able to get after your goals and get results a lot sooner.
And people hold you accountable is huge, man. So I got a few people like that keeps me in check. And hey,
Yeah.
and ones throughout this whole process, like, hey, when you gonna release it? You've been saying you're gonna do it. When you gonna do it?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's huge. That's huge. Having someone hold you accountable, it's necessary.
Now for sure, man. I definitely know you want to keep those people extra close. But we can go ahead and like land the plane, bro. But is there anything that you wanted to talk about, discuss before we get off?
Dude, man, I think we covered a lot already. I just want people to know, man, it's people out there waiting for you to do something that is going to affect them in a great way. So let's not be selfish and keep it to ourselves. Let's get out here and actually make the change we're supposed to make in ourselves and or in other people. That's all I really want. Push people to be the best them that they can be, the best person God wants them to be or intended for them to be.
Good people, again, this is Casting Pearls. My name is Joy Miller. My guest today, Mr. Treyvon. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look forward to episode 5 coming soon. You guys be blessed. Peace.